Okay guys, I thought it might be easier to demonstrate some of the science experiments for you in this format so that our tutor meetings are a little bit shorter, and I feel like we went over them so briefly in the quarterly meeting that this might be a good thing to make you feel more prepared. So the two experiments we're going to be doing is number 24 in Van Cleve's book, Mirage, and number 26, Distortion. The first experiment is talking us through how light is a wave and can bend depending on the atmosphere. So I think the questions in this are really good, the attending questions, and then I think the most pertinent information before you start the experiment is light is a kind of wave, somewhat like an ocean wave or sound wave. Light travels fast, and as it travels, it can bend and move depending on the atmosphere it is traveling through. When light changes direction or bends, we call that refraction. When light reflects off a surface, the light bounces back to our eyes, and our brains take over interpreting that light that comes through our eyes and telling us what we think that we see. So we'll do the experiment, and then we'll kind of talk about this portion. In everybody's tutor bends, for everybody except for Kratzer, you guys have stations if you want to utilize stations. I think that the tutor will have their own supplies, and then if they so choose, they can break out between the students and the class moms to do the experiment with 2 or 3 groups of kiddos, so it makes sense. I think that oftentimes the kids crowd tutor-led experiments, crowd the tutor, and they don't really get to grasp what's happening. So it might be good for the tutor to lead the experiment and then send the room moms off to do the experiment with a smaller group of students. So this is Mrs. Kincaid's experiment pack. So Mrs. Kincaid, you will have, supplies for your own experiment, and then for 3 other groups. In your packet there is ice cream cups, modeling clay to secure your pirate coins or your Viking coins, however you want to look at them. So once you secure the coin, will fall out, you're going to place it on the edge of the table, and for the purposes of this experiment, I'm just going to push the cup away. Let me take this out. I'm going to push the cup away so that we can't see the coin, but when you do it in your class, you'll probably put it on a surface and have your students back away from it until they can't see it. So you can see that we can kind of see the tip, but once we push it a little bit further, it's gone. Hold on, let me do that again. So we can kind of see the coin. I'm not going to move the camera this time once it's out of sight. So now we can't see the coin. Camera is not going to move, and I'm going to pour in some water. And the coin that was once invisible is now visible. Let me see if I can do it again without spilling water all over my documents. Okay, so we're going to push this away, but in the experiment we would move our bodies away. Okay, the coin is out of sight. Pouring in water, and the water bends the light so that the coin that was once invisible is now visible. So I love this experiment, especially in this printout where it gives these beautiful images of, I think this one is the most amazing. So like if we were at this point and we were looking at the sun, the apparent position of the sun would be in a straight line, but because of the horizon and the atmospheric layers, the sun is actually at an angle, but the light is just bending so that we can see it in the way that our eyes see it. So kind of in the similar fashion of having the way the light bends this straw. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. And you guys can come up with your own script based on your the ages of your students, the comprehension of your students, but that is experiment number 1.